allocations and they have failed to invest. And the truth is that if you do a quick Google search, every Nigerian state has some natural deposit or the other that they can actually make money from. Beyond that, they also have manpower and all of the other things that they could use to generate wealth for their state. But no, everybody is lazy. So a lot of governors in the north kicked against this new tax reform, forgetting that some of the things on that tax reform is supposed to change a lot of things. Now, it's not increasing the number of taxes that people pay. It's getting more people to pay taxes. Do you understand? You know, two different things. Again, the people, the highest earners will pay more taxes than they've been paying. All of these things will be contained in that bill. But hey, politics and propaganda seems to have taken over, you know, and everybody is now saying, no, we don't want this, we don't want that. But if you take your time and go through it, you realize that this is something that Nigeria actually needed years ago.
So I get the point here. And, you know, I even saw someone yesterday who broke a bit of things down, really broke it down, really interesting conversation around it. So it kind of made me understand why maybe the northern governors decided that they didn't want it. Because if you really look at the allocation and how each state brings IGR and their VAT and all that, you will see that a lot of these states are not bringing in nothing close to a lot. Do you understand? Which I know that to a large extent there is insecurity which is affecting a lot of. So there's probably there are not ways to get like foreign direct investment. But however, like you said, there's a lot of work that the states can still do. There are a lot of things that they can still harness to generate internet generated revenue, from their states. I get that point. Another angle is, take for example alcohol. Every month we hear about how alcohol is destroyed in the north. You hear Kano this, his bad did this bad did that. But if I'm correct, with the current allocation now, everybody gets to share everything that you are
because it goes to a central post.
Because it goes to a central post. So that's what I'm saying. First, with the new arrangement, the federal government that gets 15% of the IGR gets 10% now. Now, I think there's also now about another 60% that is according to the amount of tax that you bring in, meaning that what is commission on what you bring in that you will get paid from. Which, except you, like you said, except you are being a lazy fellow in the first place. Make sure, I don't see why Lagos, because if you see the numbers of how the FAAC allocation is being shared every month, you will be very sorry for a state like Lagos State. Why they are not getting much more, or how they're probably getting close to what another state in the north that is almost bringing nothing to the purse. It doesn't make any sense. So I think this is the reason why a lot of these governors are fighting against it. And of course the National Economic Council is filled with the governors anyway. So I'm not surprised that they came up with that. However, it does not, since the NEC made that recommendation, the federal government had not said anything about it. They just brought out a statement explaining what the tax reform bill is. So it does, at the moment, it doesn't look like the federal government is going back or they're retrieving that bill. That bill is being read and being looked at by the National Assembly as we speak. So the way it's looking, I don't see it getting stopped anytime soon, Sha.
You know, another thing that we must realize is that, you know, it's all politics at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So one of the things that could happen is the governors whom are supposed to be in charge of the apparatus of their parties in their states can actually speak to their senators and the House of Rep members to say vote against that bill or vote for some kind of amendment, you know, because it's not by fiat, it's not military fiat. And that's the beauty of democracy. Some of the things that you want to do that are so lofty, if people don't like it, they don't like it.
They don't like it, yeah.
Ruga was one thing that Nigerians shut down. under President Buhari. But if you understand the beauty of having those ranches and all of those things set up,
you probably won't be here by now.
There won't be, but you know how these things go. You know how these things go. You know. So for me, I don't know how they want to eventually pull it off. I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the day. But what I know for a fact is that we need tax reforms, and the VAT distribution should be seen as a plus than a minus. If you think that it's because you're not producing enough,
so produce more.
Start to produce more. That's what it is. What it means is that you will earn more. Now, Lagos, of course, has the advantage of having the headquarters and the base of a lot of businesses. But you know that for instance, if your state offered them some kind of incentives, they could actually come move their business to you.
Yeah, even other than that, take for example, we know that there are a lot of states, not a lot, there are actually states, basically there's no state in Nigeria that does not have mineral resources. At this point, it's time that these states need to look inward, because the more the businesses are the provider, I feel that after a while, two things: the minute that security is guaranteed and there things like business, take for example in Zamfara State, there's gold, and the government of Zamfara State finds way of harnessing that gold, businesses will automatically come.
Dolupo, actor Kunle Afolayan built a movie village. My glasses is in the way. I'm sorry, people. Kunle Afolayan built a movie village in Oyo State, right?
Yeah.
And does he shoot movies every day all year round? No. So guess what happens when they are not shooting? They have people going there to stay.
Yeah.
Guess what? It's growing. There are excursions to the place now. People are paying a couple of thousands to spend a weekend, spend a couple of days and do all sorts of activities, hiking, paint and sip, and all of that. That's income for him beyond shooting the movies and all of that.
Yeah.
Do you get? Now, that's in Oyo State, and that's by a private person. Picture a state that goes into that full scale.
Do those kind of things.
Scale.
You know, I was also with
Again,
what you said.
Look at the stadiums. Say what you want to say.
There was there's another actor, Ibrahim Chatta, that has something like that. I think his own is in Kwara. I'm not sure exactly. And was talking about. I saw a video where he was talking about how 4 movies are being shot in the same location at the same time.
Yep.
They had nothing to do with him. It was just, do you understand? Just rent the place and do whatever it is you're doing.
Everything we've talked about here is now in entertainment. We're talking about entertainment, but it's a business. It's going to earn you even forex. Do you get?
Oh yeah.
And every time people complain, the dollar, this, the dollar that, I say to them, what are you selling? What are you exporting? You know, I was talking to a younger friend of mine 2 days ago, and he was complaining about the dollar and all of that. And I said, look at you and me. We're wearing jeans. Our jeans are imported, right? Your shoes are imported. Your perfumes are imported. Everything you're putting on is imported. What are you manufacturing? What are you selling? And shout out to the young Nigerians who are actually employed from their homes now, selling their skills to companies outside Nigeria. They're earning forex.
Oh yeah, they are.
So if we could scale that, if everybody was selling something and bringing in forex, the dollar would find its level.
Okay.
And these are the issues that we have. So back to the governors and how, if they had such powers, we wouldn't be here. You know, we wouldn't be here complaining about VAT.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if he has joined them, but I've not heard someone like the governor of Enugu State complain. He brought in a company that is manufacturing tractors. I've not heard the governor of Niger State complain. You know, is doing farming at the large. I don't think there's any state in Nigeria, based on my research, and I stand
with
to
the
be corrected.
scale that they're doing it right now.
I don't think there's any state like that. You get, and I know that again. Okay, you can't earn VAT from agriculture, right? But you can actually earn direct income from
it's
it.
Direct income now.
Create jobs.
You won't have to. And then those people pay VAT.
You understand? So I don't know. I think we need to always remove sentiment. A lot of things are done by sentiment in Nigeria. Discussing Simple Barra's matter the other day, we had a viewer who actually, more or less got pissed off. Is obviously a Simple Barra supporter, but we were able to make him look at it that put your sentiment aside, brother and sister, and look at the fact of the matter. The fact of this tax reform is that it is needed.
But at the end of the day, they're saying that you're getting paid. You should get paid what you are. Get paid from what you're making, and that's it. I've always said it on the bar that Nigerian governors are the bane of our number one issue. Everybody says government. If you remove I won't say the curse, but the issues that the governors bring, I believe half of our problems will be solved. If every governor can do, because now it's always like they're just looking for every way to get handouts every single time, and that's it. That's all that they come up with. That's it, Sha. Anyway, moving on from that, so we definitely will follow this matter. We don't know if the federal government or the presidency is going to withdraw the bill at the moment. It doesn't look like it, but we'll see. We'll see where all that is going to. Now, moving on from that, quickly, okay, before we even go to people that have been arrested, the federal government has now launched a 9-month window to allow Nigerians deposit undisclosed foreign currencies in banks. So I think what they're basically explaining now is that some things are illegal, like having dollar that is not in the system.
Okay, look, anything to bring down, the high cost of doing business with Forex is what they're looking at, I know under Emefiele, there was this reward system. For every $100, there was a certain amount of naira that you would be paid, to pay your dollar into your account, to get your brothers and sisters abroad or your partners abroad to send, dollars so that you could actually domicile it in the Nigerian bank. The idea was to let the dollars come into the system so that they could now sell it to the Nigerians who needed to or who need to do business with Forex. However, there's a new regime and they're looking for ways. So this is one of the ways, more or less. And again, some of those laws are meant to fight terrorism and money laundering.
Yeah, okay,
but
makes sense.
Some people get caught in the crosshairs. Some people who are, just legitimate people who have done business. Maybe you sell paintings and artworks and NFTs, or you do different things online that actually earns you money. But again, you find it hard to bring the money into the system because it's categorized as dark money or whatever. So this window might also afford you that opportunity. And again, people should start to look at how they can revolutionize laws, especially when it comes to finance, to capture everybody. I saw a young man complain, made a video, and he actually made a video. It wasn't like he was complaining. He made a video of his house under siege by people who claim to be policemen. They were not wearing uniforms. They were wearing some jackets and all of that. And they were telling him across the fence. It was him and his wife telling them, you can't come into our house because you don't have a warrant. As his neighbors said that they don't know what it does. You get, the guy was calling his HR people. Again, it's time to realize that not everybody that stays at home to work is a fraudster.
How do you just call that? You don't know what he does. Did it come back?
No, but they're working on a tip-off. It's happening a lot these days that people who work from home are being viewed as fraudsters.
I get it.
You know why?
I just also feel that.
Do you know why?
Yeah.
Because fraudsters also work the same way.
Okay, sure.
So they must be able to decipher.
Yeah.
Look, if you look around you, there are some places that you think, like, what's going on? You have like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 young men go into someone's apartment every day and they're sat there and you don't know what they're getting up to.
Yeah.
So it's the same way people who work. So that's why I'm saying that they must now be able to decipher that which is bad and which is good.
Which is good.
But I like the idea of people being able, because if I had forex now, it would be a good time to move it home.
Yeah.
Because the value of the naira is gone to the dogs.
Yeah,
so you would be making a lot, especially if you
will.
intend to invest in Nigeria.
Okay. Now moving on from that, just wanted to put that out there. Now the gist of today, plenty gist today. There's gist from the court, and why I said this particular one is a little disturbing. So according to news today, there were a few people that were arraigned in court today. And why I said that they were arraigned in court was because of the End Bad Governance protest. And we know that there were quite a number of people that were arrested on those days. Now, in Abuja, apparently a few of them actually fainted. There were about 67 minors in court that got involved in the protest, and a few of them they looked very malnourished. Let's be honest with ourselves. Now they're being granted bail of 10 million naira each. Are you joking? Anyway, they're saying that these people are below the age of 15. And there are other 87 others that are currently being arraigned on the same charges. Now, this brings up a lot of questions. Number one, now one of the issues that they had with these people is the issue of terrorism. There's a bit of destruction, and there's a lot of things that they were arraigned for, which I get it. Like they're basically destroying government property and all that. I understand. However, are we saying that there are no juvenile courts that these children could have gone to? Or they're not what we know as remand homes that these children could have been? Because I'm sure that, don't let me say I'm sure, even the judge at this point should, okay, why are there so many children in the court? That's where I am coming from. Like, I'm not saying what they're doing is right. And honestly, we're at a point where you can't just go scot-free for everything, minor or not. You can't just go scot-free for things that you did knowingly. However, we should have systems for different things.
I think that there are existing structures and laws in place for this thing that we're discussing at the moment. There are many layers to this particular topic, but why would you incarcerate little kids and hang them in the same prison or cell with old people?
Do you get that? That's other people. The part
why would you do that?
I don't understand that.
Let us assume that these kids have done wrong. At least until proven guilty, they are presumed innocent.
Yeah.
But let us just assume, for argument purpose, that they have done wrong. Like Dolupo had pointed out, the juvenile, facilities.
Yeah, at least I know they are.
So what happened to those ones? These are the issues with this country. And it is heartbreaking. Now, my stance can be misconstrued, and I'm actually okay with it. But I am not condoning violence or destruction. But like I said, let's assume that they are guilty. This treatment is the worst thing you can do to them.
It's unnecessary. It's very unnecessary.
Little kids, you have little children, teenagers.
Under 15.
Teeny boppers. You put them in prison with adults. What's that?
Like, what's is the police, Abby? What's the police trying to achieve?
I don't think it's
like, what are you trying to achieve?
I don't think it's a sensible thing to do.
It's that's the word. It's very unsensible. Now, the courts too, the judiciary too, now decided that they are granted 10 million naira bail each. Are you kidding? Children under 15.
The instant...
Are you joking?
The instant a judge sees juvenile people bunched up with adults is the instant he's supposed to apply...
No, they're actually separate. They were separated.
But they were on the same case. I'm saying that that's the instant you need to start questioning why
you
are
need
they
to question exactly
why are they even in this court in the first place.
Make it make sense. This is the time where you should actually scold the prison service that brought them or whatever. Are you joking? I don't know.
It's disheartening.
I don't know. And then you now said they should bring one civil servant each and 10 million each. Are you joking? What's that? At this point, I think the judiciary needs to cover themselves in a bit of glory. This is something that we need to hear what the CJN needs to talk about. The president needs to talk about. If it's that you're going to give them presidential pardon, please release these children. It's ridiculous. Let's call it spade a spade. It is ridiculous.
And let's also get back to the protest. While a lot of protests are engineered by unscrupulous people, the government needs to face the truth. People are going through a lot. So some of them would willingly and unknowingly join something that was orchestrated for bad.
I agree.
So government also needs to look at why are there enough people willing to join a protest, either orchestrated or not, because the country hard.
I get your point.
So work on fixing that.
That needs to be fixed. However, yes, like I said before, you cannot condone destruction of property or put people's life in danger and all those things. We know that it's okay to protest, but let's have sense with it. But let's even say, okay, they're adults. I agree. Do whatever it is you want to do with adults, but they're children. Let's have a bit of common sense. Let's add a bit of decorum to the things that we do. That's just what I wanted to say. But we'll see what is going to come out of this. I'm expecting that the CGN has something to say about this. The presidency definitely has something to say about this as well. Now, moving on, talking about arrest. The EFCC, yesterday, anyway, today, they confirmed the rearrest of Miss Bobrisky. And I just wanted to put it out there. The people that are for Bobrisky are not up to the people that are against him. I was gonna ask though, for someone that is obvious that your presence is needed, you are probably informed that you shouldn't leave the country. You tried living through semi-border, it didn't work. Why are you so hell-bent on leaving if you are innocent?
He's not innocent now. Innocent is Two-Face Idibia.
Don't do that.
That's his
don't
name.
Do that.
His own is Okune Idris. Idris Okune.
If you don't have anything up your sleeves, why are you trying so hard?
He might have an appointment now,
So
maybe he has
because at this point, it's beginning to look like, maybe there's a vendetta against you. However, even if I would have thought that they would not, they will seize his passport. But I also read somewhere, apparently it's only a court that can seize your passport. They will just advise you not to leave. But, uncle, right now, are you sure they will not even seize your passport and seize you safe completely? Because what exactly is the plan, Gogo?
So Bobrisky got pulled off a plane that was heading to London. And, you start to wonder, like, he tried to go by road in the middle of the night. They stopped him. If they knew that it wasn't clear, why does he have the documents to go to London?
Yeah.
If your investigations are ongoing and the courts are the only, we've always known that they need to get a court pronouncement and all of that. So why didn't they do that? Do you understand? Again, it's obvious that Bobrisky also has some strong supporters. I don't know how strong they are, but it's obvious that
they don't look like they are strong enough.
They are strong. They are strong.
How are they strong?
They are strong.
He's getting arrested left, right, and center.
They are strong. You start to believe those audios that were put out. Like, okay, some of the things that he said in those audios.
But it's not helping. He's not doing anything at the moment.
Well, that's what you think, but at least he got that far. Imagine if that plane had taken off.
A lot of people are talking about how
you don't get it, Dolupo. If that guy did not start publicizing his move yesterday. And this is their problem. All these people who are social media junkies,
They talk too much.
they make money from it, so you can understand.
Oh my God. But
Like-
you are supposed you are behaving like someone on the run.
I know. I have a friend now that I'm shocked. We're like age mates, but I respect this also, and he's now taking this thing like them. He's posting everything all the time. I'm like, I know they keep telling. I get those messages for Meta. Oh, post more so that you can get this and get that. I'm like, I hear you, but me, I'm just not cut out for it.
Energy.
You get, but picture a guy that I'm talking about that you don't know that's already been paid. Then now picture a Bobrisky that
I get it.
He has 4 million followers on Instagram alone.
But I get it. My issue is
he goes ahead.
you know for a fact.
He has even locked his account. So
You know
if you
for
want
a
to
fact.
check his account, you have to be following.
Follow him. I think there are parts of his account you even have to pay for to see.
So he has to balance it.
I don't have a problem with it.
Do you really want to escape for
Do
Nigeria?
you understand? Like
Or
at least
you want to
reach the other
You want
side.
to
But
boost
the way
your
he's
social
going,
media.
if you are not careful, if your matter is not careful, he could have gone to the same country and he could have been bundled back.
They hardly bundle from that side. Hardly.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a former oil
Okay.
minister that they're looking for now. How come she hasn't been bundled?
Okay.
And she's out there in public going out and doing her thing.
Somebody got bundled back.
From Kenya.
Anyway.
Nobody has been bundled from the UK that you can point your hand to.
Anyway, Sha, I think that's number one. The daddy talks too much. Also, a lot of people are accusing former governor Ayofayoshe's brother, who apparently posted a picture of him and Bobrisky on the way to London, and they're saying that picture alerted the authorities that he could have gone to London before
That's a
they
lie
posted that picture.
because the manifest of the plane is not a secret. They know everybody that is on that flight.
So my question is,
He
if
also
you
went
wanted
through, he
to,
went through customs.
he went through immigration. How did they let him
and
get on the plane?
police and everything. So
So,
the Fayoshe guy has already made a video.
Oh, okay.
He
What
landed.
did he
He
say?
landed, in the UK, and he was actually very angry. He's like that this is a violation of Bobrisky's rights and everything.
It is.
That they're the ones that let him go in the first place. So why are they?
The honest truth
picking
is that
on him?
it's possible that maybe before the plane goes, there's maybe somebody submitted the manifest somewhere, and they're like, "Oh, that name is not going anywhere." Left to me, I think again, Mr. Bobrisky talks too much. He does too much. He was already mocking people before he left Nigeria. Why not at least leave first? At this point, it's safe to say I don't know if he's going to have the opportunity to leave anytime soon again, especially when the EFCC themselves have now also announced of his rearrest. They're saying that there is some investigation into what the audios that were sent to them, and in that audio there was talks of him paying about 15 million naira. That the sad part with that is that if it is not true that money was paid, they are building up a case against him. That it is actually the EFCC Act. The EFCC can sue you for false information. So, shout out to Mr. Bobrisky. It's not looking good at the moment.
I'm always going to advocate for an improved justice system that would expedite justice and expedite investigations. I know it's not easy. I get it when you have to get some things together, but in the cases where there are videos that are not doctored and audios that you can verify, you have experts or you have your forensic experts who can verify, say, oh, this is this person's voice. These cases should not drag for so long.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Okay, so now moving on from that, still talking about the courts before we leave the issue of courts. It has just now been announced that the court has now ordered a final forfeiture of $2.04 million and properties linked to Mr. Godwin Emefiele, the former governor of CBN, just in case you didn't know who that was. So at least one of the things that there was an interim forfeiture, there's now a permanent forfeiture on it.
Look, Anything that has to do with God willing, make sure for me. Everybody knows. I don't hide it. And I know that...
it's a welcome development.
Yeah, it is. Look, hey, and this thing applies to everybody that is in government now. You did not inherit your father's wealth. Do you get? You are only rich based on your skills and your income.
Mm-hmm.
How did you acquire these things as a government worker? If you look at the value of some of those items, you're like, okay, did you get this from your salary?
What are you doing?
Nigeria, this world is upside down. There's a way they will catch you with some things. You will just deny, it's not mine, because you cannot back up those things.
Yeah.
Even if you work for 100 years, there are some properties that you can't own. You can't. But you are now owning all of these things. From which source, sir, Uncle
And
Daddy?
then, it's not like it's
Where
money
did you
that
earn
has
the
been,
money
there's not
from?
been a build-up. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's just suddenly.
Did you win the lottery?
Oh, you could have won the lottery. Yeah.
Announce it now.
They could have won
And
the
pay
lottery.
taxes on it. Announce it. Or maybe you did Baba Jebu.
I should win lottery.
Or you did one of these bet companies. There's so many of them.
You could win some mad ass bet and
minus that, sir. Any other money?
But this money is
Uncle, these properties.
But Mr.
Dangote
has a lot more than this.
Is he a government worker? Did Dangote declare assets and say this is what he earns? Dangote has his hands in many pies now. Like they see money borrow, they see money invest now. But a government worker, a CBN governor, owning properties that he cannot actually... this country is so upside down. How are they even allowing him to defend that? How did you buy these things? How did you acquire these things?
Nigeria's money.
How did you acquire them?
It's what he sat on Nigeria's money.
Your salary?
Point, so
it was your salary?
It was his money. It was
fixed deposit?
There were also talks about how...
What happened with this microphone, sir?
I don't understand today. Anyway, there were talks about how he had sent money to his wife's account, his niece's account, and all sorts of things. There were so many atrocities.
We're not ready in this country. We just keep pandering and keep going round in circles. But the day the judiciary wakes up and decides to give us justice, there are very simple questions to ask. Even if the prosecutors are not asking, the judge has the power to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, forget the case that they have against you. How did you acquire
all these things in the first place?
All these properties, all these monies that were transferred. Where's the source? Your wife is from a rich family. Okay. Can we see our father's money? Do you get?
Anyway, we'll see where all that is going to. Let's move away from the courts quickly and let's go on to something else interesting.
We move from court. We're talking Bobrisky. You won't talk VDM. Is it not on our list?
Okay. Oh, sorry. I actually forgot.
He's on our list now. They were trolling him. The person that is trolling him has also been arrested.
Yeah, so
he has now been granted bail.
But he has been granted bail. He has been granted bail of 2 million naira. So according to him, he too has case against the police. Now, what the police... he had made a video a few days ago that he had gone to the police station and he had explained himself that he didn't know that he was committing a crime. However, that video
Ignorance
looked like...
Not,
yes, that video looked like what he was explaining was that they had forgiven him. But it looks like the police did not forgive him as he got arrested and he had been arraigned in court today and he has also now been granted 2 million naira bail. So, if he's not careful, meaning bail means he's on bail, means that he could actually go to jail as well.
Yeah, bail and jail are spelled almost the same way. They just remove the B.
Jail is beginning to smell a little bit of jail.
He's been there before. He's not afraid. There's the B and the J. Now, I probably never said it before, and I think I might have. VDM is a necessary evil. We need people like him who are, more or less freedom fighters. They are like activists, but he's more than an activist. He's a whole lot of things. But VDM needs a strong advisory team. Understand the laws now. You are the one that you are trying to uphold the law. So why are you now breaking it and
exactly
saying
like how do you say that you didn't know that?
Ignorance is not an excuse.
Everybody knows.
If
okay,
you are not,
everybody.
You know the sad part. You know the sad part. He could have actually gone to the police and told them he wanted to make that video and they could have permitted him.
Yeah.
The other day, this lady, this very funny lady, she Tahoma, right? She was wearing some military fatigue with military people. If they burn Dolupo way they do.
Please don't be using Dolupo as example. I'm warning you. I'm warning you.
What she wore.
You don't know who I am. Oh. You don't know who I am.
Yeah, you have started this. You don't
know who I am.
Okay, let us announce.
You don't know who I am.
There's somebody here that doesn't know who she is. If you know who she is,
you are the one that does not know who I am.
Whatever
don't
it is.
Be using me as
example. The bottom line is that they don't burn Dolupo well, or any of you Nigerians listening and watching me.
But you're not a Nigerian, Abi.
To wear, even me now, they don't burn me well. To wear any form of military fatigue, you get. But they gave her and allowed her to wear it because.
Yeah, and I remember that a few years ago, police had a few ambassadors, a few entertainment ambassadors that had.
Saying.
So my own is you could have passed across that message without wearing their uniform.
VDM should be smarter than this now. And again, worst case scenario, wear something that implies but doesn't exactly break the law. If you have to pass that kind of message.
He has friends that will give him 2 million naira. 2 million naira is not a problem.
Worst case, or you could have actually worn a foreign police uniform. And they will tell you, this is the LAPD. You can't stop us now. You know, the beauty of it is that if you're abroad, you can wear anything.
Okay.
They're not bothered.
Okay.
People wear military fatigues abroad now. And nothing happens.
Yeah.
It's actually not a crime in those places. But in Nigeria...
Apparently, it is a crime.
In Nigeria, it's a crime.
It is a crime. When you are in Rome, you behave like the Romans.
I feel for him. And the sad part is that Bobrisky was actually trolling him.
Anyway, he probably even seems to be in less trouble right now than Bobrisky. But anyway, we'll see where all that gist is going to. Now, moving on quickly. The federal government commenced stakeholder engagement on the 63-kilometer Ondo segment of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. So it looks like work will start quickly. Now, moving on from that, the Minister of Aviation has now come to clear the air. It started from I think it was Punch newspaper that carried a very funny headline.
It was Vanguard also, not the Punch.
Oh, it was, okay.
It was one of them national daily, so let's just... That it was a national day.
That decided to, then the minister decided to scold the person. Honestly,
to set the record straight.
School, more like school.
Set the record straight.
He said, "I think this is not correct." So, it was Vanguard. So, their headline says, "Reps ask Keyamo to revoke Oyedepo's Living Faith Church airstrip license." And I know that we had spoken about this a couple of days ago, and this is where I have a problem. Like, I know that a lot of people, or a lot of these media houses are looking for clickbait, but we need to always put the proper information out. I just think that it is just wrong on all levels. Now, according to the minister, he made a bit of explanation and saying that building an airstrip does not necessarily mean that you're in charge of it. It does not mean you're in charge of it. All you are supposed to do is to build the tower and the runway. That, according to him, the Nigerian Airspace Management Authority automatically takes over that airstrip, and that they provide all the air traffic controllers, engineers, and every single staff and everything that is needed for that particular airstrip, and that nobody goes in and out of that airstrip. The way it's like an airport, the manifest has to be submitted. Everything has to be going through generally with the way it is in every other place before they are allowed to land. So it's basically what he's saying is that having a private airstrip is just by name. What they do is that the owner of the airstrip pays the government to run that as it's like a mini airport. However, he also added that there's a new law that he had given to all airports now, that every single airport, every single plane coming into Nigeria first has to land at an international airport closest to it, and it has to first be processed before it goes anywhere else.
You know, the sad part about all of this, and you know, it really hurts me, is how we have lawmakers that don't understand the law.
Yep.
They're not gonna like this, but the truth is the truth. The first thing is, before you criticize, you must understand. And when you criticize, you must also prefer solutions. It is a must. Anybody that comes and keeps criticizing and does not prefer solutions is just a noisemaker, is a rabble rouser. And I'm glad that there's some light being shed on this matter. Hopefully, we'll do more research, and even that their discussion will probably not have been necessary if they understood the process.
Yeah, exactly. It's very interesting.
We can be excused, but it's your job.
It's your job. What's not the point of putting it down if you don't know what exactly is going on there? Now let's move on to NAFDAC. As first things first, NAFDAC has now alerted Nigerians, saying that there's a particularly recalled Nivea deodorant, black and white. There are pictures all around, and they're saying that it has a content that is actually not supposed to be. It's a very harmful chemical in it, and Nigerians should be very watchful.
Dolupo,
Yes, please.
don't you pray for the day that we actually create and manufacture these things locally, and they have more of natural, ingredients that are not harmful, and we don't need to import them?
Yeah.
Isn't it sad?
Yeah, it is.
That that virtually every Nigerian that uses a perfume, virtually every Nigerian that uses a body spray or deodorant is sending money abroad.
Yes.
I met a man that makes perfumes in my church. You know the funny thing? Those perfumes are amazing, and they have staying power. We need more people like that.
Yeah, there has to be. However, I'm also going to say kudos to NAFDAC. In the past couple of months, there's been a lot of awareness about a lot of things, which we don't get a lot about medication and all that. So I think that they've really stepped up their work a lot in that aspect. At least they can manufacture. The least is that whatever is coming in, it should be safe enough for Nigerians to use. And still talking about them, this one is very interesting.
It's not funny.
I
don't know why she's laughing.
It's interesting.
This is a do or die matter.
It's a very interesting matter, because never would I have thought that I would say the sentence that NAFDAC is alerting Nigerians about fake condoms.
Yeah, you heard that right.
I would not have thought that's a sentence that will come out of my mouth. Not because I have a problem with it, but because I still can't fathom why there are fake condoms. Like, seriously, you actually sat down to decide to make substandard condoms. This is stuff that is supposed to prevent pregnancy, supposed to prevent STIs, literally could end people's lives. Okay, people make fake drugs, so what am I saying? Why am I
so
stressing?
it's okay, Abby.
Not that it's okay, but people do, so I shouldn't be surprised anymore, right? I'm still surprised, but I can rationalize it now. Let me just put it like that.
So it's okay.
Where did that come? That was all you heard?
You can rationalize something bad, so it's okay.
Anyway,
brothers and sisters, please, in fact, this thing I'm about to say does not even make sense. How do you know it's fake? Now they're talking about a particular brand. What if the people who made that fake condom of that brand are making of the other brands? How do you even know?
I think that at times, in specific places,
oh my